Trinity is an ancient and secretive organization ruled by an Illuminati-like High Council that has existed since the time before Christ. They are determined to find and exploit all of the ancient artifacts of the world. I've been hunting them since I found out they killed my father. Jonah and I have tracked down so many Trinity cells since then, but all of the other ruins and tombs we found were destroyed except the one in Cozumel. I need to find out what they're after, what their endgame is, and stop them. Dr. Pedro Dominguez is an archaeologist and expert in pre-colonial Maya history. My father mentioned him in his notes more than once. That's the lead Jonah and I were following up on when we came to Cozumel. His excavation in Cozumel was one of the last places my father visited before he was killed. If there is a connection, I want to find out what it is. I thought that Dr. Dominguez was only the leader of the local Trinity cell. I never imagined that he would turn out to be the leader of the High Council of Trinity. Ixchel and Shakshel are two faces of the same goddess. Ixchel is the young woman and represents life and healing. She's associated with the full moon. Shakshel is the old woman and represents death. She is associated with the new moon. Together as the twins, symbols of duality in the cycle of life and death. According to legend, the key and Shakshel and the silver box of Ixchel were created in the heavens for one purpose: to destroy and restore the sun. The ritual can only be performed during an eclipse. Once the ritual is completed, the chosen avatar will hold the power of the sun within them. Having become the god of creation, Kukulkan, they must sacrifice and release that power to restore the sun. But the silver box tempts people with visions of an idealized world they could create with that power, a fantasy of their own mind, an entirely new reality, only at the cost of destroying this one. Trinity's influence is even wider than I thought. They have controlled Paititi for centuries, where they are known as the Cult of Kukulkan. Their highest-ranking members in Paititi are called the Serpent Guards. They are picked at a young age from among the best warriors in Paititi and fight alongside the Jaguar warriors and the Eagle Archers. Unuratu is the rightful queen of Paititi. After a famine that nearly wiped out the city, her family was ousted from power by the cult of Kukulkan. Her husband, Sayiri, died hunting for food on the outskirts of Paititi. Amaru, or Dr. Dominguez, Sayiri's brother, felt responsible and took control of the city, using resources from Trinity to feed the Paititians until the famine passed. Even though Amaru saved the city, the cult, in his absence, now rules with arrogance and fear. Unuratu and her rebels are fighting to free the city from the cult of Kukulkan and restore its ancient bloodline. Unuratu was raised to believe it was her family's legacy to complete the ritual of the silver box of Ixchel and restore the sun for another age. Dr. Dominguez is originally from Paititi. Trinity has had a presence in Paititi since the 1600s. The former leader of the High Council, Gualtiero de Luca Dominguez, an Italian cardinal, saw great potential in a little boy and trained him, like a son, to be his replacement. He moved up in the ranks until he became the leader of the High Council. He has lived most of his life outside of Paititi, returning often but not staying long. His real name is Amaru, but as the high priest of the cult in Paititi, many people call him by his honorary title, Kukulkan. He has brought the key of Shakshel home from Cozumel and has assured his people he will use it to protect them. Amaru wants the silver box of Ixchel to protect Paititi from the encroaching dangers of the outside world, but already he is being tempted by the possibility of remaking the world in his own image. Jonah is a survivor and a good friend. I met him several years ago on my first expedition on board the Endurance. He made me laugh the first time I spoke to him, calling me Little Bird. We've been through so much since then, and after I lost touch with my best friend Sam, Jonah was always there for me. He came with me to Katesh and helped me find the divine source, the artifact my father was looking for when he was killed. After I destroyed the divine source to keep it from Trinity's hands, Jonah helped me hunt them down, cell by cell. When I finished deciphering my father's notes, Jonah thought that Cozumel was the best place to start. At first, I didn't believe him, but he was right. The site in Cozumel was the only one we found that wasn't destroyed. Now I know why. Trinity knows there's a piece of the puzzle missing, and I need to find out what it is before they do. Commander Rourke is a highly trained, multi-decorated veteran of the US Special Forces. His extensive experience with highly classified and sensitive operations executed with deadly efficiency brought him to the attention of the High Council. They recruited him based on his record alone. He is the leader of Trinity's military forces and personally leads the Deacon teams, which have access to custom APCs called Paladins and Special Ops helicopters called Cardinals. He is Trinity's second in command, answering only to the High Council. While Dominguez is the heart of Trinity, Rourke is the fist. Rourke and Dominguez don't always see eye to eye, but each has a grudging respect for the other. The Yashil are the descendants of the creators of the Key of Shakshal and the Silver Box of Ishal. In the centuries since Lopez stole the box 400 years ago, they lost their purpose. Now they protect the site where the ritual of the Silver Box will take place. Even though their minds have faded, their purpose remains intact. They will fight and repel anyone entering the holy city of the Serpent. They are led by a priestess known as the Crimson Fire. She represents Shakshal, and along with Ishal, she is charged with completing the ritual of the Silver Box and guiding Ishal in her sacrifice of the sun's power. Once it is completed, the Crimson Fire and all the Yashil will return to the heavens where the key and the box were forged. Spanish Jesuit missionary Andres Lopez, a member of Trinity, was dispatched to find and retrieve the Silver Box of Ishal rumored to be in Paititi. Instead of bringing the box back to the Trinity High Council, he confessed the theft to his old friend, the Emperor of Paititi, Sinchichika, Unuratu's ancestor. Together they entered into a plot to hide the box from Trinity. Lopez went west of Paititi and founded the mission of San Juan, leaving a path of clues stretching back to Cozumel for Sinchichika's descendants to follow when the time came. But while building the mission and the deadly crypts below, the box's power corrupted Lopez's mind. He came to believe that no one was worthy of the power of the sun. He died alone in the dark, consumed by the power of the box. Soon after, disease severely wiped out the population of Paititi, taking Sinchichika and knowledge of the path of the clues that led to the Silver Box with it.